Hey, for today's vlog, I'm going to start out with a tale. It's an old one from the eastern part of the world, Middle Eastern part of the world. And this is about a mullah, and he needed to give a sermon for 3 Fridays in a row. And so that's what he was set to do, but he couldn't think of a thing to say, much like me in my vlogs sometimes. Anyway, he went in there and he was thinking, oh Lordy, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? So he gets up there and he says, children of Allah, do you know what I'm going to say to you? And no, said the men down below, and no, said the ladies from the balcony. And he thought, well, if you are so ignorant you don't know what I'm going to say, then why should I bother with you? And he leaves, and he's so happy to be out in the warm sun and free to go and do what he wants to do. Whew, that was over, but he had to do it again next Friday. So he goes up there, and that was my dog. He goes up there and he says, children of Allah, do you know what I'm going to say to you? As he spoke to them behind the pulpit. Yes, said the men, because they remembered last week. And yes, said the ladies from the balcony, because they too remembered. Then he says, well, why should I waste my time studying something to you, and you already know what I'm going to say? And then he left, and his heart was light because he got out of it another Friday. So anyway, finally, here comes the final Friday, and man, he's really up against it because he can't think of a thing in this world to bring to the people. And he got up there and he says, do you know what I'm going to say to you? Well, some of them, yes, and some of them, no, because they all remembered those previous Fridays and they were a little confused as to what in the world they needed to say. And then he says, then all the ones that do know, tell all the ones that don't know, and I will be on my way. And then he was gone, and he had fulfilled his obligation there, and it was over for him. So that made me think lots and lots of things. But one of the things I'm thinking of in our world, our personal worlds, a lot of us we know maybe all kinds of stuff. We really do know all kinds of stuff. And there's a bunch of us that we know a bunch of nothing. But I think, there's maybe a few that do know something. And I think it's very important that those few share their knowledge for those who would like to hear it, so that maybe that could be something that everyone could benefit from. But it's also about emotional stuff. I think it's important for those maybe that have suffered, or those who have seen suffering, whatever, know how to comfort, assist, whatever they need to do, those who have not been down that path yet. It's important for those who know what they need to do to not only do those things for themselves, in other words, but to also assist those who do not. I think it's also about, let's just all not pretend maybe that we know a bunch of something when we really don't know a thing. I think so many of us, we just put on a big show, or some of us, we don't put on a big show. People assume that we know something we don't know, or we feel something we don't feel. I've seen this. Somebody look at somebody and they think they are thinking this bad thought, or they're feeling this thing, and then later come to find out that was like thinking of what are the lyrics to a certain song in their head that they used to love, but their expression was all serious. I personally used to live in terror of a certain girl that used to come see me because she looked so mean whenever I tried to tell her something important, and finally found out that's just her thinking face. And of course we laugh about it. But it's important right now that I think we start looking out for one another in a way that maybe we didn't do it before, because there's a whole lot of ugly in the world. And it's important that I think we kind of try to bring a little bit of beauty one way or another through our emotions and our assistance to others. Okay? That's it.